Welcome to the 10th traverse in the Sahyadri webinar series where we take you on a visual journey through 200 forts in December 2019. Today we'll be visiting some of the more known forts across two beautiful reservoirs, Pawna and Mulshi, south of Lonavala. The HD quality videos can be watched on my YouTube channel above, as well as my blog ultrajourneys.org, and a 10-minute preview gets posted on Insta TV and Facebook. Here we can see the region south of Lonavala. So starting from the top, Lonavala, we first come across Visapur and Ghangad, a twin fort, and then proceeding clockwise around the Pawna Dam, we come across Tikona, Tung and Morgiri. From there we proceed south to the Ambi Valley, where we find Gheit, and then on the edge of the Deccan Plateau, further south, we get Baila and Ghangad, and finally proceed east towards Ghat, overlooking the Pawna Lake. From there we have a road that gets down the Tamhini Ghat, and then from the Tamhini Ghat we can proceed north again to visit Sudaghat, Angai and Mrugaghat, who are pretty close to the other forts but have to be climbed from the Konkan plains. Okay, starting from Lonavala, the previous night coming from far away from Harishandraghat region, we settled down in the night at top of a nice little dam just above Lonavala on the way to Rajmachi, waking up by the sunrise, nice breezy night stay here under the stars. The first fort on our way is Visapur. It's a hill fort near Visapur village, part of the Ghangad Visapur fortification. It was built during 1713-1720 by Balaji Vishwanath, the first Peshwa of the Maratha Empire. Making use of its higher elevation and proximity to Ghangad, the British troops set up their cannons on Visapur and bombarded Ghangad. Considering the strategic importance of Visapur, both the northern and the southern gateways have been blown up. Here we can see the whatever remains of the staircase that goes up to Visapur on top of the hill there. You can see massive walls all around the hilltop. Here the view from the top, major fortification all around. It's a pretty huge area on top. You can find some big lakes, water reservoirs on top of the hill, as well as a small forest on the hillock. You can see here the fortification walls around the hill. Thick walls rising high and making any enemy offense quite difficult from steep below. Voila, on the way to the Pawna Lake, we cannot resist a refreshing dip in the crystal clear waters of Pawna. Join us for a swim.
Crystal clear water south of Lonavala at the base of Ghangad, Visapur and a couple of other forts here in the same region, probably providing drinking water to some of the nearby cities. This place is paradise. Clear water surrounded by beautiful mountains, lush greenery. Looks like we're going in the right direction. Wow, refreshing dip from the December heat.
Next we come across Tikona, proceeding clockwise around the Pawna Lake, also known as Geit. It's a dominant hill fort in Malvan located near Kamshet. The fort is a trekking destination noted for its large doors, the temple of Trimbakeshwar Mahadev, water tanks, 7 water tanks in total, and some Satavan caves. There's a good view on the Pawna Lake from the summit. Here we see the staircase leading up to Tikona. Beautiful actually to walk on those original rock cut steps rather than restored concrete steps you see with many of the forts and the restoration. Halfway then we come across a big cave with a temple here and a big reservoir. Further up we come across some other caves with beautiful views on the Pawna Lake below. Big rock cut caves here seen from another angle. From here they were overlooking the entry staircase and I guess bombarding enemy troops trying to come up. Here then one of the doorways midway the staircase. After that again further you have to climb up very steeply, making it difficult for enemies not to be out of breath by the time they reach on the top. Back again, beautiful views on the Pawna Dam.
We are descending from Tikona Fort along a steep staircase through the main gate. Quite steep, so strategic fort, easy defendable. You can see Pawna Lake over there, the blue pearl on the horizon. We'll be proceeding to the fort on the opposite side of the lake, now Tung Fort.
Okay, Pawna Lake is a dam constructed across the Pawna River. The construction began in the year 1962 and was completed 11 years later in 73. Here a beautiful view with Tung Fort on the other side of the lake.
Standing on top of Tikona Fort here, with awesome views on the lake below. We can see Visapur and Ghangad Fort. Huge water body here, Pawna Lake or Dam, I believe. From there we see Tung Fort. We took a dip earlier in the crystal clear blue lagoon waters. And here you can see the top of Tikona Fort, surrounded again by beautiful rock faces everywhere.
Next is Tung Fort, also named Tamhini Ghat Fort, was built before the 16th century. It was built by Adil Shahi dynasty, but was captured by Chhatrapati Shivaji Maharaj. It's a small fort and able to hold not more than 200 troops at a time. Its shape and structure suggest that its main function was a watchtower overlooking the Malval region of the Pawna and Mulshi valleys, guarding the road to Pune city. Beauty about Tung is that it's not touched. You can still see the staircase here, 400 years old, eroded by water and 400 monsoons over 4 centuries. Here we come to the fortified entrance of the Tung Fort, 2 bastions rising up steeply. And voila, here we can see exactly the opposite view of the previous video, where we're standing on top of Visapur on the other side of Pawna Lake there. Stunning views from these steep hillocks on the valley. Korigat, Ghangad, Tung, Tikona are the well-known forts in the Lonavala region of Pune districts. Among these forts, Morgiri stands as a not so well-known fort. Looking at its position and the remnants on this fort, it must have been used for watch-keeping purpose. So from Tung it's pretty short ride to the base of Morgiri. As we get up on Morgiri, we first come across a beautiful kind of mid-level flat hill. You can see at the base there, and from there we climb up through pretty dense vegetation towards the top of the fort. Beautiful views here on the dry grasses somewhere beginning of December 2019. On the way to the top there are 2 ladders and a few caves. You can see some remains of electrical poles there. And here the top of the fort with a water reservoir. Beautiful views on the surrounding mountains. Here the view towards the west when the sun is setting down over a dense forest here at the base of Morgiri. Peaceful views from the top of Morgiri Fort.
on the surrounding densely vegetated valleys. Also quite a few resorts in this place, close to Lonavala. Sun is setting down in the west over the Konkan plains. At this site we see the lake, which we have been touring the whole day. Quite an experience.
Next on the list is Ghat in the Ambi Valley. Ghat likely predates 1500 and was incorporated into the kingdom of the Maratha ruler Chhatrapati Shivaji Maharaj. Here we see the staircase, which looks to be restored with a metal railing going up to Ghat. Here the entrance fort of Ghat, still in original condition. And then on top of the fort we can see the restoration works on the wall, the main defense wall, which has been restored. People are using diesel engines here and steel cables to pull up the heavy restoration materials to do the restoration work. Rocks are again hand cut to restore the wall in its original condition. You can find a couple of big cannons on top of the fort, one of which is broken. Must have been pretty heavy to hold these things on top of the fort if they were not made here. And from the top of Ghat you can see the wealthy of Mumbai probably, beautiful villas, lawns and swimming pools there around the lake in the Ambi Valley. Next is Taila Baila, which is a magmatic dike, which is a very steep vertical wall of rocks created by intruding magma into a fixture at the middle where a small Shiva Laja exists. Taila Baila was a fort. Taila Baila was a fort with steps which the British destroyed with mines and guns to prevent any mutiny in the future against British rule. Today Taila Baila stands as one of the most prominent places in the Sahyadri, is famous for its 4-rock climbing routes. Here you can see a side view from Taila Baila, from a small farming settlement at the base, so it's pretty long. Widthwise, if you then climb up from the side, you can see that it's a very kind of narrow pinnacle or magmatic dike. Here you can see another beautiful picture with the sun in the back, very narrow rising hillock compared to its width. Underneath the final pinnacle you have some caves here with views on the other side of the valley through which we came. Here you can see the opening between the two pinnacles that separates Taila Baila. Then next on the way, also overlooking the Konkan plains from high above the Deccan plateau. Very less information available about the history of the fort. This fort was used to keep prisoners and for keeping watch on the trade route from Pune to Konkan. Ghangad Fort restoration was done by Shivaji Trail Group with the help of local villagers. The fort is at least 300 years old. Here we see some rock cut stones at the base of the fort, which is a nice jungly place, accessible by a jeep track. And then here the staircase up leading to the entrance of the fort with a big bastion on the right side. Here we can see that entrance staircase, fortified walls. Here some of the openings for shooting at the enemy or watching the enemy from within the bastion. Opposite hill there and a reservoir midway. Finally we have 2 ladders to reach to the top of Ghangad. On the top of Ghangad again, stunning views on the Konkan plains on the right side and the other hills around the Deccan Ridge on the left side. Further away also we can see Taila Baila, the 2 hillocks on the Deccan Ridge also. You can see midway again those particular flat mid-level plateaus. Kailashgas is an unknown fort, probably with no famous history at all, though it is said that Shivaji Raje had once visited this fort. The scenic waterfalls and the Mushli waters is what makes trekking this fort a beautiful experience in the monsoons. Also from the top you can see the whole view of the backwater surrounding the fort on 3 sides. Here is the little trail and a couple of rock cut steps there as we climb up from a small rural road to the top of Kailash Ghat. And from the top then you can see not Pawna Lake but actually Mushli Lake south of Pawna. On top of Kailash Ghat it's a lot of vegetation with not much remains actually. Voila, finally from there, Mushli we get down, connect to the Tamhini Ghat road where we get stunning near vertical drops here leading to the Konkans below as we head out to explore several forts at the Konkan place south of Mumbai. Voila, this was it for Pawna and Mushni lakes. Any further information you can find on my blog ultrajourneys.org, as well as a lot of other information in terms of training, presentations, journeys, articles, maps and more. See you guys tomorrow for the forts south of Mumbai.